And the action continues on Talkin Money with Jeff Tarbell.
All right. Welcome back. Hour 2 of 2. We start at 9 o'clock. We expect you here on time. Call your mother if you don't show up on time next time, or we're just going to call you a mother, one of the two. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. You can text us at 441140. So Ford, found on road dead.
Fix a repair daily.
Yeah. Has decided, I own one of them there, Fords.
Likewise.
Is going to make a major change to their signature classic F-150 pickup truck. They're going to put in a
F-Series, the F-Series.
Oh, all of them.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're going to put in Japanese engines or something. What are they? So what's the first off? What is the purpose for making this change? They're just going to make it look cooler, or they're going to have to do something?
Yeah, there's I guess a mandate out there for fuel economy.
Oh, damn fuel economy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They want every car to have 54.5 miles per gallon by 2025.
We're going to put a sail. We'll put a sail on it.
There you go.
It's one of those like those rigid sails like they use on the America's Cup. That would be sweet.
Going down 80, a whole bunch of them, like 100 in a row.
It'd be a grimer under the overpass though. But other than that, it'd be fun. Get it up on edge. Whoa.
I'm guessing you're not going to be living on that boat outside of Silicon Valley.
No, they're going to put me on a boat outside. They're going to put me on that little island outside Silicon Valley. So, okay, what are they going to do?
So they are going to start making the bodies out of aluminum.
Like beer cans?
From steel to aluminum.
So if you get in, it says like Budweiser on the inside of the door. You're going to, this is recycled, dude. This is not even new aluminum.
And that's the challenge they're having, is convincing people that aluminum is as strong and rigid.
You can't even say aluminum 5 times.
aluminum. So that's the take. So, yes, they're going to make aluminum instead of steel.
On parts of it. Hopefully the frame will still be made out of something resembling steel.
It's going to save 700 pounds on each vehicle.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
And what are they trying to? What's the miles they're trying to hit, or they think they have to hit?
54.5 miles per gallon by 2025.
Better have a 60-mile-an-hour tailwind and a sail to make that happen.
Yeah, I think
I don't even get 54 miles a gallon on my motorcycle.
Nor do I.
Yeah. So how are you gonna
50?
How are you gonna do that in a? Maybe you should quit goosing it so much. So we lost Steve. We'll have to see if we get Steve back on. He had a couple questions, and I had a few thoughts for him too. So we'll wait a minute and see if he chimes back in at 339-1140. There was some questions about taking some cash out.
Let's talk about the economy real quick. Speaking of pickup trucks,
pick them up.
It seems that the housing market has a very good correlation with the truck purchasing market.
You need a bigger garage with your bigger truck?
No, if the housing market goes up, people build. The builders are therefore buying a new truck.
Well, how do we know you're not buying a new truck and then you need something to do, so you go out and build something with your truck? How do we know which is which?
Usually they want the money first.
Oh, okay. So there's a direct correlation between truck sales and construction?
Yeah, light truck sales swell as new home building is a key indicator, and we're at a 4-year high right now.
4-year high of truck sales?
Yeah.
We're not at a 4-year high of house sales.
House construction's on its way up.
No, that's true. Speaking of that, we'll talk about. I've got quite a bit of home outlook sales. You know, speaking of building things, and this is I don't get this. 31% of 811 small business owners and chief executives were quizzed or polled. 31% of them said that they had unfilled job openings in July because they couldn't identify applicants with the right skills or experience. 41% of the 154 manufacturing firms that answered the survey said they couldn't find applicants with the relevant experience or skills compared with 30% previous. So there's a fair number of businesses looking for people they can't find. I don't.
That's crazy.
I don't get that. So either we have a workforce that is either dramatically unskilled, in which case they're in the mortgage business, or they're retired, or they're not looking for work, or they're not willing to move to where the jobs are. Let's see, where's this one company, Group 1. So here you go. If you want to look for some work, you have to go to Florida, which could be nice most times of the year. Group 1 Safety and Security, Stuart, Florida, has been looking for alarm technicians in their company, and they can't find them. Alarm technician doesn't sound like terribly hard amount of work. Doesn't sound like it's terribly skilled, although it is skilled. You're doing electrical and some construction, but that's amazing. 31% of small business, 41% of manufacturing firms cannot fill the openings they have. So ask yourself there.
Either too many people getting the golden ticket, or I don't know.
Well, if you're 18 something and you're getting ready to go into college, what do you want to be when you grow up? I mean, does getting a bachelor's of science in business what you need to do, or should you get out and learn how to build something, or become an engineer, or do something that has some real trade skills? We have a lot of people with paper degrees that don't know how to do anything.
Good point.
That would be me. I couldn't get the thing off the wall last night, so I don't have
1-800-brother-in-law.com.
Exactly. I readily admit I have no skills and no skill set. That's why I'm on the radio. This doesn't take a lot of skills. This is I don't know if I've ever said this before or not. This is, honest to God, this is a true statement. So when we were in sixth grade, our teacher gave us a quiz, and it was just a demonstration. It was like 7 or 8 occupations on there, and the question was, which one of these does not require any education or specific skills? And one of the answers was radio DJ, and I chose that.
True story?
Yes, true story. And the answer was supposed to be that none of the above. They all require some education or skill. I chose DJ. I'm probably the only guy that got that wrong. And the guy's like, I still remember this day that she's like, why would you choose that? I'm like, oh, how hard is it to get on the radio and talk and play, put a few records on? Come on, you don't need any skill for that. I'm actually sure. I'm sure I actually failed that quiz. I might have actually got that right. So I might have.
Okay.
Well, I got so many little fun things here to do. We had I mentioned earlier during the first break there that be careful what you wish for and be careful what you think is going to happen on the rates, because this was a very strange week for the market. In general, the Dow and the market has been getting its rear end handed to it. It's just been doing terrible, and rightfully so. There isn't a lot of good news, nationally, that says we should be happy about buoying up stocks. I mean, businesses are already reporting now slowdowns. Housing starts have slowed down. So what we're seeing is we saw a real good push, probably would have been fourth quarter last year, maybe first quarter this year, that we kind of rode for a little while and then just kind of fizzled out. And I'm not real sure why, but clearly the U.S. consumer is now, we had this a couple weeks ago, we're building up savings, and I said, okay, and credit card balance is going up a little bit too. Does that mean that they're building up savings because they're finally making some money and they're putting it away, or they're just panicked and they don't want to spend it? Charge up my credit card instead, and I'll just keep my money in the bank. So you're starting to see the U.S. consumer starting to slow down a little bit, which is dragging everything else down with it again. I contend that we are now, let's see, August, September, October, November. Use my fingers here. 4 months from the election, and I think you're going to see everybody kind of just go into almost like a static mode for the last 90 days. What's going to happen? Who's going to get elected? And whoever's going to get elected is going to have a huge dependency on whether I want to start growing or I want to start saving, I think. And do we sit on our money, or are we going to look at higher taxes coming in? I don't know if you're following some of the tax debate. The Bush tax bill expires at the end of the year. The Senate voted to extend the taxes only for people under $250,000. The House wants it to do it for everybody, and so we're going to get nothing. And if we get nothing, then we're going to have a fairly large tax bill for all of us.
Yeah. Starting
on the first of the year. That isn't good for economics. So, but at the end of this week, the Germany and France came out and said that they are going to do everything in their power to protect the euro, and that means everything. And there was some talk about maybe the euro will go away. We'll go back to our individual currencies again. People are starting to hoard their own money again back over there. So with that, our stock market. So this is how it is so interesting how we've become we've been for a long time, but how obvious it is now we're such a global economy, because our own economy not doing squat, our own stock market not doing squat, rates doing well because they work in counterintuitive to the stock market. So, but Europe comes out and says we're going to make sure that we get our house in order and we defend our euro and our dollar, and our stock market goes on a rally,
ballistic.
Yeah, and we end up with a very, very good week. And the casualty in that was interest rates. Interest rates probably up about a quarter over the last 7 to 10 days. Not the end of the world, still phenomenal. But if you've been sitting around thinking, okay, I got to get this super great rate, or I'm waiting for it to hit this level, then boop, it kind of jumped up a little bit too. And I had people call me in a panic, people either that work for us or people that were borrowing. Oh my God, I missed it. I'm like, you didn't miss anything. Okay, you missed it today. Guess what? There'll be news tomorrow.
Right.
And tomorrow's Saturday. Maybe there won't be. There'll be news Monday. And next week, then everybody's going to go back to, Europe still doesn't have it figured out, and our economy is done to, it's going to go in waves. And they go in little weekly ups and downs. So if you missed it last week, don't lose your mind. Just wait for next week. There's more news coming. But the overall theory is that there really isn't anything on the horizon that looks dramatically great for our economy, and probably won't be until after the election. Good, and I'm not saying who has to win or lose. I'm just saying the election is going to determine where we're going.
Yeah.
And with that will come the outcome of good, bad, or indifferent on either side. If Romney gets in, then what does that mean? That's a new element entered into the equation, and so he would be president, but he doesn't control the House or Congress. So you have to look at the whole election and say, okay, did Romney and a controlling Republican Party come in? Okay, you can pretty much figure out that's going to mean X. If Romney comes in and there's still Democratic control, that means we don't know what that means, because neither one of them can get anything done, right? Yeah. They push a bill through, he kills it. He pushes a bill through, they kill it. If Obama stays in and the Democrats stay in control, that means Y. So there's and businesses don't like unknowns. So why are they sitting on so much cash? Trillions of dollars of cash?
Tons of unknowns right now.
They don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Are we going to get taxed to the death? Are we going to get healthcare issues? Healthcare now starts to become expensive. Some of the benefits came out early. The tab doesn't come out until starting next year. They got to start paying the bill for this. So a lot of companies are sitting around going, man, what does this really mean? So it can be very, very interesting times. It will be very interesting times. But if you lost your mind because rates went up an eighth or a quarter this week, put it back in your head, and we'll save you. I'm going to talk about, after the break, I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the interesting things with some of our social media companies that have just not doing great. Not doing great. And I'll give you a little hint on when might be a good time to buy some Facebook stock if you want to. And I wouldn't say that it would be right now, but there is a little hint on the horizon. Do we have any more quiz questions you want? Speaking of internet stuff, what's that one?
Speaking of internet
stuff.
There
you go.
So the question is, who really invented the internet?
Now, I mentioned to you during the break or before the show. Did anybody else watch the opening ceremonies last night?
I watched a little bit.
The British have kind of a different sense of humor. Very dry, but I guess I didn't catch it all in context. I wasn't really sure what I was watching, but did I not see? They were showing a guy who theoretically invented the internet, and he was supposed to be typing on "It's all for the world." Was that supposed to be like the guy, or was that supposed to just represent that he came from Europe, or what were they trying to say there? Because that article in your hand is completely different than what I saw in the opening ceremonies last night. But anyway, go ahead. I digress.
What is the truth?
Yes.
You can't handle the truth.
So I think we figured out that Al Gore did not do the internet, although he still is hanging on to that with his big jet. So Al Gore, other than Al Gore.
So there's a company out there that claims, I would say,
or is being credited
for inventing the internet, and think way back, not that it does all these massive things right now. What did it originally do?
And the reason they didn't really capitalize on it is they had their own product they still to this day sell, very well known for, but
right.
they thought, we're going to make more money with this is great, but this isn't where the future is. The future's over here on this machine. So 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. You can text us at 441140. Which company is largely credited for really taking the concept of the internet, this connection of computers, and really making something out of it? And it's probably widely disputed about that.
Sure.
But this is, according to the Wall Street Journal, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. You can text me at 441140. This is Talkin Money. His name is John Farderero. My name is Jeff Tarbell, and we're going to be
right back.